Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and welcome to the Hermitcraft Season 7 Mushroom Island, home of the shopping district. Now, here on Hermitcraft, we usually go a little bit nuts with our shopping district. Things get into a large amount of disarray pretty quickly. So one of the things we're trying to do differently this season is set it in a place where mobs are not going to blow it up and immediately generate a ton of entropy. And two, Iskall has decided to create a voluntary scheme. Voluntary schemes are my favorite kind of schemes because people can opt in and determine their own level of involvement. Anyway, he has determined a voluntary scheme where in order to stop people from just doing a mad real estate rush or overclaiming land in this district, he has suggested we put diamonds in the middle of this platform here. Here, we'll do our best Iskall voice now. Dear hermits, I hereby suggest that in order to build a shop, you pay for the land you use by putting diamond blocks here. The pricing is 100 blocks, X-ray Zulu, free Yankee space, 1 diamond block. Note, this is only a suggestion, not mandatory. Iskall 85. Well, thanks, Iskall. I think this is a great idea because people always overclaim stuff on the server. So, we're going to go ahead and claim 700 blocks ourselves for our first endeavor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Now, if only we had all of the things that we needed to build our shop right now. What's that, mushroom? You've got it all ready for me? Why, thank you. So we're just going to go ahead and we got all our stakes here, all our orange terracotta, really everything else we need. I figure the best way to make sure that we properly claim that 100 or 700 blocks is to go ahead and, why did I say is that way? I am too tired. We're just going to put 700 grass blocks in our inventory now and start claiming. So, let's go ahead and do that immediately. I figure we'll want to start claiming right about here. Yeah, this seems nice. You know, actually, no, we're going to do this differently. We're going to, rather than digging that much, we're just going to go ahead and start adding. See, this is a much better system. Now, I've been trying to figure out how to get the hermits to agree on a road system for Season 7's shopping district. And it is almost impossible to get the hermits to agree on anything. So, instead, what I've decided to do is just buy land and turn it into roads. And then, if they're mad at me, I can tell them to blame Iskall. Because I was just doing his thing. And I can't be blamed for doing Iskall's thing. I'm Joe Hills. Okay, so realistically though, as we look at this, this road would probably need to either shift with the natural flow of the hill here, or go down. Let's see how we want to approach that. In the very least, well, we'll come back to it. We'll figure out the exact way we want to do it shortly. Another thing that we're going to want to do is probably have a road that leads from the portal down to here, right? That's a logical thing for hermits to want. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to clear out some space in front of the portal here. And just start establishing that. That seems sound. And we'll have that kind of generally flow into the main road here. So we're going to come out 3 blocks at least. And then descend. Was there already a cave? Did they... Oh, they must have had to elevate this themselves. Iskall and... not Iskall. Impulse and Tango worked really hard on setting up a proper portal system here that would connect to the roof of the Nether. We'll go back there in a little bit and explore that, but yeah, here's what I'm figuring is we should go ahead and set up a similar kind of path on either side. People like portals where they can come out on either side. And I am people, me. So we're going to go ahead and lean into that real hard. Now, as long as I'm only picking up grass blocks that I placed, I should stay at 700 this whole time. So any expanded outward growth, we're going to have to remember is not me. So here we go. Boom. We have established our first road connection between the portal here and this diamond stack. Yay! And in the meantime, the bubble vader that we planted last night is going to keep slowly growing its kelp. Once that gets to the top, we can build a proper platform there. And theoretically, because my road goes underneath that platform, we can go ahead and, hey, they said there was no Y limit. We can just keep working on that. That's a thing that we have the option of doing ourselves, all the way up to there. So let's go ahead and move these into place. I think I can remove these blocks without any immediate problems. And I don't need this here right now. So yeah, there we go. We've got a nice little platform area here. I'm probably going to ultimately end up claiming these blocks in the middle. Let's just go ahead and set those down, like so, yeah. Nobody's going to want to buy that land there, that 3-wide strip of land. So, yeah, we have now purchased the first infrastructure link in the entire district. Now, we still have a lot of blocks left. 700 blocks is a good distance. So one option we have is to continue all the way out here, because this Mushroom Island is just absolutely gigantic. But another thing we can do is to set up a crossbar, kind of having the path continue out this way to encourage folks to settle elsewhere. Because the more places that the roads connect, the more confident people are going to be about what they want to do. You know, as I'm looking at this, though, having the roads be 3 wide is nice, but, you know, we're going to actually probably want some grass on either side of the roads. So I'm figuring we'll go ahead and actually set this up more like this. And ultimately, I'm planning on replacing the 3 middle blocks here of the roads with stone or something that you can slab or make proper stairs with. But we'll leave the grass on either side as a little bit of a buffer. Now, I also do want to set up my own shop, and we're going to have to think of a location for that, but really that should come after we figure out where the road should go. Now, one obvious thing would be to have the road continue back down this way on at least one of these sides. Which way? I mean, wow, this really goes quite the distance. Do we want to have... I was going to say, if only we could get a higher vantage point. So we could have a road that goes diagonally through there. And honestly, this isn't so wide that we're going to necessarily want to cut. Maybe we should wait to see how people dig first and where they build and stuff. I think in the short term, just having the road continue that way is going to be sound, and having it continue that way is going to be sound. Because we only have so many blocks, especially if we start going 5 wide here. 700 divided by 5, you do the math. No, literally, I'm not going to do the math for you. I'm busy making infrastructure on the Hermitcraft server. Time skip. You might say, Joe, how many green grass blocks do you have in your inventory? Well, I had 700, but now we have got things settled down. We have a path that starts extending out this way a good distance. I think that this is really going to convey, with a nice gradual slope, roughly what we want to do out this way. And as we get more diamond blocks on the server, we can reinvest that into buying more infrastructure. We have claimed all the area we need around here to really establish a proper portal plaza. And knowing that portal and that tower in the portal are going to be long-term visual eyesores. No, wait, short-term eyesores, long-term, that's going to be beautiful. It won't look like a sword in a stone. It'll look great. You know, I've extended this road out to here. Now, as I got more diamonds later on in the server, we can extend this road diagonally to reach this part of the island. Like, because this island is actually gigantic. You might not realize it, but there's room for a lot of shops here. So just to give you a sense of scale, you can't even see my road from this high up. Just kidding. But from over here, you can see that just barely covers any part of the island. We're going to need a big connector back to this area and connectors to the other areas. But we need more diamonds first. How do we make diamonds on the server? We open shops. So, in addition to plotting out these roads here, I'm actually going to start structurally completing my first shop. And you might say, Joe, what's your first shop going to be? Well, it's a pretty simple concept. Some of you guys, I'm assuming that you guys have these where you live. These are called traffic barrels. They are a traditional indicator of people at work. And we're just going to set these up like so, right here, with a sign that says, Road Replacement Permit, 30 diamonds. I figure if I put a bunch of cobblestone or a bunch of diorite or a bunch of wood, no matter what I choose for the actual paths, people are going to yell at me. So instead of having them yell at me, I'll let them replace all of the paths for 30 diamonds with whatever they want. Now, we don't have a chest for that. We're also going to have here a sign that says, Folks at Work. And another sign here that says, Portal Tower Renovation Permit, 50 diamonds. Done. So, you know, we own the land under the portal tower. We have started working on that bubble column. Hey, I bet that kelp is almost done. Why don't we go check on it? This way, if Scar says, Joe, your bubble tower is hideous, can I get permission to fix it? The answer is go to the permit office. It's got the ugly barrels. You can see them from up here. Oh my goodness, they're going to be really mad about that. But that's fine. That's fine. So, it looks like our kelp is going all the way to the top now. That kelp is non-stop. We're going to run back here, grab some soul sand to place underneath it. Boom. There we go. It's almost like I actually had a plan for this. This really has the broad appearance of a plan. Iskall, you're not the only one who can scheme. Are the bubbles actually going all the way up? Boom. Check that out. And you might say, Joe, what are you going to make this out of? Right now, I could make it out of grass. And then somebody can pay me to fix it. That seems like a good system. Ooh. Okay. Not actually going to make it out of grass. We're going to make a good platform. Time skip. Now that we have these paths generally laid out, we need to make them a little bit more attractive. This is maybe not going the way I thought. I was hoping for flowers. I might need to come back here with actual flowers. In the short term, though, it does give them a little pop. They're more three-dimensional than they were. Huh. Yeah. Well, this part of the plan is going poorly. But sometimes that's a teaching moment. If you've learned something, feel free to leave a comment about it in the YouTube comments section below, because I ain't learned nothing. This is just, ugh. Maybe this will encourage people to buy permits. I don't know. Here we go. Speaking of permits, tower renovation, 50 diamonds. I'm going to put that here. Road replacement, 30 diamonds. There we go. Hopefully people will just jump on that opportunity. It's a job opportunity because it's a job. Well, would you look at that? We now have a cross street. We have all sorts of stuff set up here. Now, of course, we don't have an elytra, so if we want to go down, we just got to take a quick plunge there. And we can check out our new shop. Now, In addition to selling those permits that I talked about, once again, tower renovation, 50 diamonds, road replacement. You could just rip out all this cobble, put in whatever you want for only 30 diamonds. You know, operators are standing by. They're having a lot of fun, though. They are currently busting a moo over here. We have steak, 3 diamonds for 1 stack. And Doc M is currently working on a looting sword for me in exchange for that steak that I provided him in a previous episode. So we should be able to keep both of these shops restocked pretty easily. These permits, super easy. So anyway, let's go ahead and turn our HUD back on. This is looking like as good a place as any to break up the episode. While we wait to see if anybody bites on our shop's tantalizing proposition, I have returned here overlooking my vineyard such that I can lay the foundation, the cornerstone, for the Wizards of Wine Winery. This is based on a layout by Chris Perkins in the book Curse of Strahd. Now, I started laying this out with the thought that I just want to see, with rough materials, if this fits in the space that I have provided here. It generally seems to. We've got our veranda here where people would squash grapes. We have our internal fermenting vat area with a stairwell that'll lead up to our second floor. We would have bedrooms and dining rooms and the living quarters generally overlooking the vineyard up here. I've started culling out some of this mountain here because what I really want to do is I want to be able to see Doc's house. I want to be able to see Doc's house from here. But realistically, that's not going to happen until, or it shouldn't happen until my house is done. I don't want to ruin Doc's view with an ugly house. And cobble and wood is not exactly the primo experience that we want our good neighbor to experience. You know, you want experiences to be loved, right? Like this barrel maker's a workshop and storage area. Not complete. Everything in here, completely incomplete. But while we were working on laying out the rough floor plan to figure out what we would need to make this happen, Doc showed up, finally, with this enchanted book of Lootin' 3. And I know I can apply this to one of my existing swords with only 7 levels of experience. Fortunately for me, I'm far more experienced than that. Well, 2 more experienced than that. So I figure what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we will, enchant one of our swords with this looting enchantment. Then we can start culling those cattle to avoid any sort of undesirable slowdowns on the server, you know? We can't have this many entities running without causing problems. So really, we want to take care of that and get a move on. This will also help us restock our shop, which we need to swing back by anyway, because who knows? Maybe somebody's bought a renovation or a permit or something. So anyway, here we go. Sword with Unbreaking 3 and Mending. Lootin' 3. Boom. Look at that. We now have the perfect sword. Although it'd be great if it also cooked the meat. You know, whatever. It's fine. We'll throw it in a furnace. Anyway, let's go ahead and head to bed before the ghasts and other monsters appear. Time. We are back here in the shopping district, and let me tell you, we have already sold one of our permits. One of the hermits has decided to purchase a hermit permit to begin construction on the tower there. Now, you might say, Joe, what are you going to do with all those diamonds? Well, it looks like we can make 5 blocks of diamonds, which I think is worth approximately, let's say 7 stacks of land, maybe an additional 60, just off the top of my head. So let's go ahead and we're going to drop these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Then we're going to drop ourselves, just so we don't start feeling haughty. Swing back by here. Okay, so yeah, let's grab 7 stacks of grass blocks plus change, because, 500 divided by 64. I think that's something like 7.8125. I did that math yesterday, and I didn't write it down. But that seems right to me. Let's go ahead and check that. Okay, guys, I checked my math, and I was off. It's actually, on the remainder stack, it's only 52 extra blocks. Whoops. So we have 7 real stacks, and then 52 left over for the land that we can claim with our reinvestment, a brilliant reinvestment of that purchase. Now, the logical place to extend this to is going to be out this way. This whole island generally extends out here further, and we're going to need roads that carry visitors out along this vector. I'm not sure if I want to have the roads go a clear 45-degree angle. That feels almost too harsh, you know? We don't want to be too harsh as land purchasers. We need to kind of embrace the land and its natural flow. In fact, let me think about this for a second. Could we even curve this somewhat and have it wrap around, maybe? Would that be cool? Oh, hey, it looks like somebody's already got a shop set up over here. Oh no, that's just some sort of weird natural terrain thing. Oh, I should have bought that. Wait, I have the blocks. We're going to quickly make this a monument to world generation. We should create a little park here. Okay, let's go ahead and just quickly make sure that everyone knows that this land was claimed for you and me. This is the sort of supernatural aberration that requires someone to come in and own it, you know? Not because aberrations like this belong to any one individual, but because sometimes that individual can be a better stored, right? I want to preserve this monument forever, and I'm going to do it by just placing those blocks there and leaving a sign that says clearly, World Generation Aberration Monument, preserved by @JoeHills. Okay, great. So now what we want to do is we clearly need to extend a road back from this. We're going to want to create a little plaza around this, you know, because just preserving the monument doesn't preserve the eye lines for the monument. Folks are going to want to be able to appreciate this from every angle forever, right? That's just, this is an investment in public space. This is a public-private partnership between me and Iskel's Diamond Blocks stack and the rest of the server. So yeah, we're just going to claim along here. And once we kind of have a rough skirt kind of for the plaza, then we can start thinking more about how we are going to want to link this up pathwise. Because logically, to some degree, having a path roll past here seems sound. I guess that would be the way to do it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So if we had a road that kind of curved around here, that would look really cool. Do we have enough length to do that, though? I think that's the real question here. All right, as we attempt to connect that monument here with the rest of the road network, I realize I'm about 100 blocks short. So what we're actually going to do is take the diamonds that we had left over, which was 5, combine those with the diamonds we have left in our storage area, and create another diamond block so that we can complete this road segment. Time skip. Here we go, placing our extra diamond block right here. We want to give this some nice symmetry there, radially speaking. That entitles me to another 100 blocks of land. So we are going to take these additional grass blocks here and go mark out the path precisely as we intended. And finally placing that, we have 22 left over. So why don't we go ahead and just preserve the line of sight here on our beautiful little monument and establish a little bit more of a park. You know, we can put a bench here, make room for people to just sit and enjoy this gorgeous aberration, you know? That's what people want in life, you know? Employers are always like, what can we do to make employees more satisfied? And the number one response on employee surveys is always more aberration appreciation. So there we go. Hope I made your day a little bit better, everybody. Huh. Now that we got that path in place, I think it's time to start filling in the cobble. Time skip. Now that we've gone ahead and extended that road, I've made a mark that the Portal Tower renovation permit is currently in use because we don't have more than one of those at a time. But you know what? This is a good start. Folks can expand out here. They can appreciate that there will soon be a path kind of connecting out that way maybe. We've got this mushroom in the middle of the road that I was too lazy to chop down. I'll do that later. We could put in a nice bench here. Not going to do that right now. Leave your YouTube comment suggestions of what kind of bench this should be. Maybe a cha-cha wood, or acacia, or something like that. Just let me know. I'm open to suggestions. Also, you might have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free. That is thanks to $50 a month Patreon sponsor Alex White. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a poem of my own devising in memory of that kelp frond that established our water elevator. Kelp fronds seek the sky, only breaking the surface when their stalks are snapped. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.